welcome to the show.
Good morning, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, lots of fans in Australia are going to be very excited to see you back on our screens fronting this new Uber Eats campaign. You came down to Australia to shoot it. How was your time here?
Gorgeous, not long enough. I contemplated extending my trip several times. Unfortunately, with the dogs at home needed feeding. But yes, huge fan of Australia, huge fan of Australians. But Sydney especially has got some beautiful spots. And the weather was kind to us. Even though I know it's your winter, it still felt like a summer's day to me.
We're just finally starting to turn a corner here, but people from the UK often say our winters are obviously far more mild than yours, so it still feels like summer. But Brits often come to Australia and find some quirky things here down under. Did you discover anything unusual? Was Australia what you expected?
Ooh, crikey. Loads. I've been lucky enough to go back and forth to Australia quite a few times, actually. But I just love... other than ice magic, the sense of humour. There's always a good banter to be had in Australia. So the shoot was only for 2 days, but lots of banter was flying around and good times all around, I think.
You didn't get caught up in our food or coffee culture?
I did absolutely. Mostly the coffee part, but yes, it was a delightful stay.
Now, you mentioned ice magic, and in this Uber Eats campaign, you are back dabbling in the world of magic. We'll get to the specifics of the campaign shortly, but is magic actually something that you're into?
First of all, for anyone out there who thinks magic isn't real, let me reassure you, it is.
Because magic freaks me out. I am terrified of magicians.
What?
I'm freaked out by the whole concept of it.
What? What do you mean? Which part? The sort of the disappearing act, or the sawing a lady in half?
The whole thing.
What is it?
Sawing people in half, stealing my watch, stealing my jewellery. I can't. Maybe I'm a bit of a control freak, but I can't understand when I don't understand what's going on.
I do know what you mean. I am that sort of person that when someone does a card trick or someone does a basic sort of thing like that, it bothers me that I can't figure out how they've done it. But no, as someone that has spent some of their life as a wizard, I'm definitely a magic fan.
And so, are you good at magic?
Do bears in the wood? Yes, I am very good at magic. Don't make me prove it.
Yeah, no, I'd love to say trick. Are you in like the world of magic? Like, are you one of those people that's off at the Magic Castle in LA? I've always wanted to know what happens behind the scenes there.
I thought you might bring that up. I have been there, and I have been bewildered by the fantastic skills. But no, I'm not sitting at home figuring out how to make things vanish from one hand to the other, as amazing as it is.
Oh, you're not actually doing it. You're not using it to your own benefit.
Well,
you're not getting around town making people fall in love with you.
No, that's a good idea though. Maybe I've been wasting all these years. I shall look into it post-haste.
It seems like a no-brainer to me. Hey, in the campaign, it is all about... you can get almost anything on Uber Eats.
Yes.
And for those who haven't seen the ad, you get a magic wand that you can't quite control, and you make your neighbour disappear. What are you like as a next-door neighbour?
You'd have to ask them. Loud? No, I'm a very good neighbour. I'm a very considerate neighbour. My mum always sort of raised me that way. So I often, whenever I'm in somewhere new, I often knock on the neighbour's door and offer them, well, some sort of peace offering before I cause any trouble.
Oh, you do? You're one of those neighbours. I once lived next door to swingers, and I would have done anything to have your magic wand to make them disappear.
I was going to ask more questions, but I shan't. But I think it's madness. Isn't it not madness? Like, one of the first things that we don't ask people when we're moving in somewhere is, who lives next door? So I try to...
I know.
I tried to do that before I make any bold decisions to move in somewhere. So, sorry, are you still living next to the swingers?
The swingers, no, we're not. And it took us quite some time to work out why they were making so many noises late at night. And we thought maybe it was an Airbnb. There were always different people coming and going. And then we realised there was one couple consistently there.
Wow.
And we did live next door to swingers.
It kind of sounds fun as an anecdote, but I'm sure it wasn't so much as a neighbour.
It was noisy, let's put it that way.
Moving on swiftly.
Hey, hey, look, we got to know you when you were so young. I think I think we first got to know you when you were about 12, and I know that was also when you met Emma Watson, which is an extraordinarily long friendship to have, especially in this industry. I know she's contributed to your book as well. You guys must have an amazing friendship to last the test of time in a Hollywood world.
Yeah, absolutely. I've known her. I mean, we're going on 22 years now. I mean, all the cast really. I know it sounds cheesy, but we're all very close, and we're all in contact with each other. Rarely are we in the same corner of the earth at the same time, but yeah, I saw Emma very, very recently. She's doing well, and she was very kind to write the foreword for my book. Yeah, they are very, very special friendships to have, and ones that haven't been sort of replicated as easy by doing other projects. So I'm very grateful for her and all the other Griffin dogs.
Well, congratulations on the book. I mean, the thing that I think people love about you is that you're such an honest person. You've spoken so honestly about things that you've gone through in your life, and in particular about your mental health, which I think people really appreciate when someone so well known speaks so honestly about things that they've been through. In Australia yesterday was a really important day called Are You OK Day, right, which is all about reaching out to your mates and asking, are you okay? From your perspective, how important is it that people reach out to others and check on them?
Hugely important. Hugely, especially for I think for young guys or young men. I think it's not often maybe the first thing that comes up at the pub or at the cricket match, etc. And I think young men should feel equally, well, should be encouraged really just to A, ask your mates, are they doing okay? But B, not be afraid to say you're having a rough time when you are.
Well, that's it, right? It's okay to say you're not okay.
Absolutely. And oddly, I mean, what's the old phrase? My mum would say, a problem shared is a problem halved. I think that's kind of true, but it's usually more considered cooler not to talk about such things, which I hope to contribute to the reversal of that.
No, I think it's awesome, and you're right. In men, in particular, I know I worked with two boys on this show who are also really honest about hard conversations to have, and I know people really, really appreciate that.
It's a strange one, because as soon as one person opens up, the other does, and then it sort of has a snowball effect. So yeah, I'm very happy to be the first one to get the ball rolling.
All right, and finally, let's get back to Uber Eats. I mean, I think this is a dream job. I've got a broken arm currently, so I can't cook a single thing. So I think I would fight you to be Uber Eats #1 customer currently. But what is the strangest thing, given that it's not just food you can order now, what is the strangest thing you've ordered on Uber Eats or you've seen on Uber Eats?
You know I'm going to ask you the same question, so I hope you're...
I'm ready for it. I'm prepared with a brilliant answer that's going to beat you.
Mine's not really that strange. I want to say ice cream at 3 in the morning, or maybe, I don't know, 12 smoothies and 4 espressos at 8 in the morning as a recovery mission, but that's about as bizarre I've got so far.
That'll do it.
Go on, what's yours? What's yours?
Well, I moved back to Melbourne to take this job when Melbourne was in the hardest lockdown in the world during COVID, and I had nothing in my house besides a mattress and a dog bed, because I just moved into a new house, and like you, I'm a dog person. Dogs first. They got their bed sorted before my house was, and I ordered cutlery, crockery, wine glasses, you name it. My whole kitchen was kit out on Uber Eats because nothing else was open. So I'm very thankful for whoever invented it being almost anything being available.
It's a pretty special company, let's face it.
Hey, you're a pretty special guy. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Come and visit us back in Australia soon.
I will be. Thanks very much. Lots of love.